The Husqvarna Viking Designer EPIC 2 has a whole new menu, letter I, that are laser pictogram stitches. So we're going to show you how the pictogram stitches work and then also incorporate the new feature of the laser all together here. So let's start by going over to menu I. There's more than one way to get to these stitches. You can do it through the Joy OS Advisor or go to letter I down there at the bottom of the screen. So all these stitches look like parts of something. So let's just pick the first stitch. So we have the ability to stitch this out. You can kind of tell that it looks like maybe a row of half of hearts. So this would be something that if you were stitching out a row of it and then traveling back, you would want to be able to line up and get those stitches to turn out and connect perfectly, which I'm going to show you how to do with that laser that is now part of the EPIC 2 sewing machine. Now, just on a little side note, because this is so bright with all the lights coming in, I need to actually turn those lights off so you can actually see this on camera. So I'm going to go to the settings and machine settings. If there's ever a time where what you're trying to see at the needle is not showing up for one way or another, you can actually set and turn off. It's like turning off the light. You're not turning off the machine, but watch what it's going to do. Now when I actually turn on the laser, which is the picture here that looks like a magic wand, you will see what I'm talking about. That red line is what I'm going to be able to follow. You also see a new part of the screen and it comes up at 0. So I do want it in the center as I'm doing the sewing. And I've also gone ahead and drawn on my fabric kind of a place to kind of start and stop as I do one of these stitches. And how about for fun, let's go ahead and do stitch number 11. There's so many different ones and there's so many different ways to kind of connect these out. You gotta play with them. Look how complex some of these are as you watch them stitch multiple times out. And yes, scroll up so you can get to that final row of stitching down there, 25, 26, that looks fun, and 27. So let's just do stitch number 11 to try this out. Since I don't want it to sew all the way down a complete row, I'm going to use the stop button, and look what it's going to do. It's going to just do one repeat, and I'll show you why I want it to stop after one time stitching. So the only thing I really need to do is start with that needle right down in the center of my drawn line. Now you can kind of see how you can utilize the laser to see if you're actually going to be on the line as you stitch and then watch what I'm going to do on the return trip. So it's only going to do the pattern one time. Let's utilize that start stop button and I'm going to just go ahead and sew. This way it's going to set the machine to stop with the needle down, and then you kind of notice the fabric kind of moves in different directions. So my goal is to work to keep the laser light parallel to the line I was following. That was not what I had in mind, but I love it anyway. What if I had drawn 4 more directional stitches out and added 4 more rows of stitching? It would be a whole new design. But for right now, I think you get an idea of what the potential is using the laser pictogram stitches and the laser light.